They constantly tell you to work hard, save money, and wait. But no one asks the real question: does retirement actually make you free? Let's talk about some realities. The retirement system was first established in Germany in 1880 by Bismarck. He was the Chancellor of Germany at the time. The working class had started to rebel. Socialist movements were gaining strength. And the state said, let's give people a sense of security so they don't rise up for revolution. In this video, I will explain how retirement steals your life. The system doesn't like these things being openly discussed. That's why we need to like the video and slip past the algorithm's radar. When the system was first designed, the retirement age was set at 65. Here is the critical point. In 1890, the average life expectancy in Germany was 48 years. This is the first thing people overlook. Many people died without ever receiving a retirement pension. The fact that the state stood behind the system gave people a sense of trust. And as you can see, this still continues to this day. Now I'm going to talk about something very uncomfortable. The system wanted people to work during their healthiest years, and it wanted their weakest years for itself. That's why many people continue working even after retirement. The system tells you, be safe, and keeps you inactive. And when the time comes, it expects you to survive on insufficient amounts. At the end of the video, I will tell you how to escape this system. Retirement is not stopping work. It is slowly being erased. The assets you think you're saving slowly melt away over time. Do you know why? The state borrows for its own purposes and creates money. This creates inflation. And the assets you think are valuable slowly decay. Your salary increases, but your purchasing power does not. The numbers grow, but life shrinks. You work more, but you live less. The system tells you this: just endure a little longer. Work a little more, then you'll rest. But no one tells you this. For most people, that then never comes. The retirement system sells you a promise. That promise has a contract, and that contract has fine print. You give your health, you give your time, you give the most productive, most energetic years of your life. And what do you get in return? A salary defeated by inflation, a weakened body, and a life full of what-ifs. They didn't want you to realize this. The retirement system is not for the individual, but for continuity. Not for you, but for the sustainability of the system. Because for the system to work, you must work for a long time. You must live for a short time, and you must not question it. That's why in education you are taught this. Work hard, be disciplined, don't take risks, trust the state. But you are not taught this. How money is created, how debt is a weapon, how inflation is a hidden tax. Look around you. People retire, but they don't become free. Because their bodies are exhausted and they never learned how to step outside the system. Retirement is not stopping work. Retirement is the continuation of the gears turning. Now let me ask you an uncomfortable question. If retirement were truly for your benefit, why would you be expected to sell your best years to someone else? Is that what freedom looks like? Freedom is lived when you have energy. Freedom is lived when you have the power to take risks. Freedom is lived when time is under your control. The truth is this: life cannot be postponed. Living does not wait. At this point, people are divided into two groups: those who believe the story the system tells, and those who question the story. And since you are watching this video, you are among those who question. The purpose of this video is not to scare you, it is to wake you up. Escaping retirement does not mean quitting work tomorrow. This is a mindset shift, changing how you see money, changing how you see time, changing how you see security, learning to work for yourself, not for the state, not for the system. Because real security is not in a salary, and certainly not in a promise. Real security is in the skills you can control, the finance you can understand, and the time you protect. In the rest of the video, I will show you alternative ways of thinking beyond the retirement system and real ways to take your time back. Because in the modern world, freedom is not about how much money you have, but how many options you have. And if you've watched this far, it means you already feel that something is wrong. There is a way I really like to measure freedom. We ask ourselves one question. If we stopped working today, how many years could we live with our current financial assets? Let's say we have enough assets to live for 3 years. That means we have 3 years of freedom. After that, we would need to work again to survive. This brings a few questions to mind. How can we increase this freedom? There are 2 ways to do it. The first is having income that you earn, without working, that exceeds your expenses. For example, you own a house and receive rental income. If the rent you receive is more than your monthly expenses, then you are free forever. You can live anywhere in the world without being tied to any place or any time. The second way is having a lump sum of money. For example, when you divide the money you have by 12, you find out how many months you can survive. If those months are enough to last you a lifetime, congratulations, you are free again. If you want to escape the trap the system has prepared for you, you must learn the rules of the game. If this gave you a new perspective, subscribe. Where were we? You must find a place for yourself within the system. Freedom is sometimes the power to say no. You must build a system for yourself, one that can sustain you for the rest of your life, even if you don't work. How this is done is a very deep and beautiful topic. In my next video, I will explain it in a simplified way. We will start with the 10% rule. See you in the next video. Stay enlightened.